All right, shalom, shalom, Israel. It's Brother Kazak Magun. First and foremost, want to give all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'Shem Mashiach, wa Malak Yahushai. Right? So, there's going to be another video rebuking the origin of Christmas, man. We go get on Saturnalia a little bit through the Spirit, right? So, I just want to start off with this because the Lord, we all know, you got to go to the classic. I'm going to start off with this. This is Jeremiah 10:1. It says, "Hear ye the word which the Lord Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven." So the Lord said, learn not the way of the heathen. Who are the heathen? The heathen are the other nations. We are Yasha Allah. We are the house of Israel, and we are the Most High's chosen people, and all the other nations round about us, they're considered the heathen. The Lord told us not to learn their ways, right? So he said, learn not the way of the heathen and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. Meaning what? Don't go off into all the zodiac signs and all the God worship and all the constellations and things like that, and the signs of heaven, and how the heathen worship all of those things. The Lord said, don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven. It say, for the heathen are dismayed at them, right? Hey, the heathen, they dismayed at the signs of heaven. He gave those things for them to worship. He gave them those things to worship. Salakia. I believe this is what I want. Deuteronomy chapter 4 and bear with me. Right. Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 19. It says, unless thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the hosts of heaven, shouldest be driven to worship them and serve them, which Yahweh thy God have divided unto all nations under the whole heaven. Right? So the Lord, he gave that to the heathen to worship. It say, but the Lord have taken you and brought you forth out of the iron furnace, even out of Egypt, right? To be unto him a people of inheritance, as ye are this day, right? So the Lord said, don't worship all of those things that you see in the sky. The Lord said he gave those things to the heathen to worship, right? Let's get another precept on that. How the Lord gave the heathen their own deities, basically, to worship, or their own things to worship. He gave those things for them to worship, but we are to worship the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 17 and verse 17. It says, for in the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people, but Israel is the Lord's portion, right? So Israel is the Lord's portion. So Salakia. But yeah, as we was going into Jeremiah, the Lord said, learn not the way of the heathen. Let me keep going on that, because there's more on that. Salakia is more on that. Right? Where was I at? Verse 3. It says, for the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. So there go that tree. There go that tree, that Christmas tree y'all love so much. There it go right there. It's in the Bible. Yeah, the Christmas tree in the Bible. But the Lord said, learn not the ways of the people that partake in the usage of that so-called Christmas tree. The Lord says, stay away from that. It says, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. Hey, same way y'all decorate the Christmas tree. Hey, they decorated it back then with silver and with gold. Y'all put the little streamers on it. The little what's the things, the ornaments that we might put some candy canes, put the star on top. They was doing all that back then. It says they fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are upright as the palm tree. Salaki, it says they are upright as the palm tree. They speak, but speak not. They must needs be born because they cannot go. Meaning you gotta carry this. You gotta carry this thing around because it's not a God, but people bring it in their house to worship it as it is a God. They stand up. The Lord said they stand upright, but they don't speak. Because why? It's an inanimate object, right? But people are bringing these things in their house to put gifts under, to worship. The kids, they respect the Christmas tree more than the Most High because they see the Christmas tree, and they think about the gifts. They think about the gifts that they receive under it. That they don't even look to the Most High. They look more forward to Christmas than they look more forward to serving the Most High. So that's idolatry. That's putting that Christmas tree, and the worship of this day in space of the Most High. You're making this a god now. You're idolizing it, right? So, Salakia. It says they deck it with silver and with gold. Salakia, I was at verse 5. It says they must needs be born, right? You got to carry them, right? Because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil. Neither also is it in them to do good, right? The Lord said don't bring those things into our house anyways, right? But I'm going to grab this quick precept first before I grab that one. Let's go to the book of Wisdom of Solomon, right? Now I believe I want chapter 13. Wisdom of Solomon 13. This is going into a man that, okay, here we go right here. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 13 and verse 10. It says, but miserable are they, and in dead things is their hope, who call them gods, right? So you putting your hope in a dead thing. You're teaching that child to put hope inside of that tree. The hope of that tree, the hope of this day is that they're going to receive presents, that they're going to be happy, that they're going to have family time and all of these things, all in the spirit of that day, right? But this day is nothing. It's a dead thing, right? Especially that tree, it's a dead thing, right? It says, who call them gods, which are the works of men's hands, right? Hey, because nowadays, what most people in their house, they got a little plastic tree. It's a little plastic tree. It's the work of someone's hands. Someone crafted that in some type of factory, some type of warehouse. It's the work of a man's hands. And now you got it in your house and you're worshiping it. Sitting in front of it, drinking a glass of wine, just looking at the lights flicker on it. You're worshiping and you're idolizing that thing. Trying to get in the spirit of Christmas. You're staring at the tree, trying to get in the spirit of Christmas. That's idolatry. Right? It says, which are the works of men's hands, gold and silver, to show art in, and resemblance of beasts, or a stone good for nothing, the work of an ancient hand, right? So I want to jump down. All right. It says, and when he, Salakia, might want to go up. It says, verse 16, speaking about a man that that created an idol and brought it home to worship it, right? It's saying all the things that he did for it, to set up the shrine for it. It says, for he provided that for it, that it might not fall. Salakia, I'm going to jump up to verse 15. It says, and when he had made a convenient room for it, right? So you know how you buy the Christmas tree from the store. You probably go to Kmart, Walmart, Save-A-Lots, Big Lots, what the hell ever, man. Wherever hell you're going to get your damn tree. You go and you buy it. You make a little space for it. Before you set it up, you make a little space for it. Probably in the corner of the living room or somewhere. And you put the little, what is it called? You put the little rug down. You're making a convenient space for it. You might put it right in front of the fireplace. You might think it might look good right there. You're making it, whatever you're doing, you're making a convenient space to put this idol in, right? It says, set it in a wall and made it fast with iron. So, right, what are the things that you put at the bottom of the tree. The tree has the feet on it, right, that you have to connect to the bottom pole so it stands up, right? Because without those things, the tree wouldn't be able to stand up, right? It says, for he provided for it that it might not fall, right? So you put those things on it so it don't fall, knowing that it was unable to help itself, for it is an image and have need of help, right? Hey, it can't do nothing. It can't do nothing for you. It's just the image. It has need of help. You got to carry it wherever you go. It can't even take itself down when the damn day is over. It can't turn itself off, you know? But that's all I wanted to get on now. Let's get to this video, right? I got a couple timestamps that I want to get into. We ain't gonna watch the whole thing.
Know that hundreds of years before Christmas was the most jolly festival in December, there was a week.
So like, yeah, this is called Saturnalia, right? So we getting into the origin of Christmas, right? This is called Saturnalia, the jolliest ancient Roman festival, right? And this is a video by World History Encyclopedia, right? So this is world history right here, right?
Long festival in ancient Rome dedicated to the god Saturn.
Wait, I'm gonna go back a little bit.
Did you know that hundreds of years before Christmas was the most jolly festival in December, there was a week-long festival in ancient Rome dedicated to the god Saturn?
Right, so right off the bat, you can already see that she's linking Saturnalia, the festival of Saturnalia, to Christmas. She said hundreds of years before Christmas, there was Saturnalia. So she's right off the bat linking these two holidays. This shows that Christmas is, originated from Saturnalia. Right, so
hello and welcome to Ancient History Encyclopedia. The easiest way to support us is to give this video 35. A like.
Let's go to 35. That's cool right there.
Don't miss out on any new uploads. Io Saturnalia. The Saturnalia was a week-long festival celebrated in ancient Rome between the 17th and the 23rd of December in honor of the god Saturn. Saturn, although a fairly mysterious figure in Roman mythology, was the god of agriculture and had a fairly...
So Saturnalia is a Roman practice. Did not the Romans have us in slavery and bondage? Did not we have to pay taxes to the Romans? Let's go to that real quick. So why are we taking on the practices of a people that had us in bondage? Shalakia, we got a whole book called Romans. Why? Because we had people over in Rome, who were living over there, who were enslaved or scattered over there, through the diaspora, But the Romans had us in bondage. Let's go to the book of Luke, chapter 2 and verse 2, right? It says, and it came to pass chapter 2 and verse 1, Salakia. It says, and it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus, right? Who is Caesar Augustus? Caesar Augustus was a Roman ruler, a Roman emperor. It says that all the world should be taxed, right? And he was taxing our people. So why would we take on their practices, right? I just wanted to touch on that real quick.
Prominent temple in the Roman Forum. Despite claims by Livy that says the festival began in the 5th century BCE, there is evidence that suggests a much older history. It began as a one-day festival, but by the late Republic, it had extended to cover an entire week. Saturnalia was a jolly and festive time, which consisted of eating, drinking, games, partying, and merrymaking for all.
And Salakia, it was a lot of homosexual activity going on at this merrymaking and this banqueting. It was a lot of that going on. Hey, you got to think who you're dealing with. These Edomites right here. And what did the Lord say about them? These Edomites right here. You got to remember who you're dealing with. All right? This is Hebrews 12 and 16. It says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. Right? It says, hey, a fornicator or a profane person as Esau. These is Edomites. And Esau is Edom. So, their whole nation is profane. Their whole nation is fornicators, right? These are the same people. I just saw a video on Facebook, an alligator laying on top of the woman, and she just letting it pee on her. Like, what? Like, these people are profane. They do off-the-wall things all the time, and it's normal to them, right? But I wanted to touch on this, what she said about Baal real quick.
There is evidence that suggests a much older history. Despite claims by Livy that says the festival began in the 5th century BCE, there is evidence that suggests a week-long festival celebrated in ancient Rome between the 17th and the 23rd of December in honor of the god Saturn. Saturn, although a fairly mysterious figure in Roman mythology, was the god of agriculture and had a fairly prominent temple in the Roman Forum.
Right, so this is all based off, the god of agriculture, right? Saturn, right? So I pulled up what's name on the god Saturn, and we go look into him a little bit. We go check him out. Right? So it says Saturn was a god in ancient Roman religion and a character in Roman mythology. He was described as a god of generation, dissolution, plenty, wealth, agriculture, periodic renewal, and liberation. Saturn's mythological reign was depicted as a golden age of plenty and peace. After the Roman conquest of Greece, he was conflated with the Greek titan Cronus. Saturn's consort was his sister Ops, right? And Ops, they celebrate her. She's a part of Saturnalia as well. It says Saturn's consort was his sister Ops, with whom he fathered. Wait, hold on, what? So these are gods, they siblings, but they had kids together. It says Saturn's consort was his sister Ops, with whom he fathered Jupiter, Neptune, Pluto, Juno, Ceres, and Vesta, right? other Roman gods, right? But so they're gods and they're siblings, but they fathered children, and this is just shows you how profane the mind of the so-called white man is, right? Let's go down. I mean, let's get a precept on that, man. Because the Lord told, that's how you know that the Most High, this how you know that the Most High is the God of all the heaven and the earth. Because the so-called white man, Salakia, bear with me, I'm trying to, Leviticus, that's what I wanted, Leviticus, chapter 18, and verse 6, right? This is Leviticus 18 and 6. It says, none of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to him to uncover their nakedness. I am Yahweh, right? So the Lord said, we shall not approach nobody that is near of kin to us, right? And then he starts to go in on what he means by near of kin, right? So let's jump down to verse 9. It says, the nakedness of thy sister, right? So it just said that what was his name, Saturn, he fathered children with his own sister. Hey, the Lord said, the nakedness of thy sister, you shall not uncover the nakedness of her. It says the daughter of thy father or daughter of thy mother, whether she be born at home or born abroad, even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover. Right? So you shall not uncover the nakedness of your sister, meaning what? You shall not have incest. Incest is unlawful according to our God. Right? So Salakia, let's go back to the video, and I'm gonna get another timestamp. 2:57.
The end of the Saturnalia was marked by the most important tradition of the festival, gift-giving. These were often small trinkets or...
Right, so the most important tradition of the festival and the end of it was the gift giving, right? Hence where Christmas gets the tradition of gift giving. It comes from Saturnalia, right? All of these holidays that our people celebrate today in the world, it's all rooted and grounded in paganism, right?
Early figs, but the most popular gifts were the small terracotta figures known as sigilla, which took the forms of deities, heroes like Hercules, or common and sometimes comical figures associated with the giver or the recipient. Candles were another very popular gift because the Saturnalia was associated with the winter solstice and the coming of the light through the birth of the sun god Sol Invictus on the 23rd of December. Candles not only represented the light of the god, but each individual's personal quest for truth and righteousness.
See, there go that idol worship again. And that's all this is rooted in. It's all rooted in idol worship, right? Let's go to the book of Exodus, chapter 20, get the classic. Chapter 20 and verse 3. It says, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me." Right? So the Lord said we shall have no other gods before him, right? Neither shall we be worshiping any idols. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, and I want verse. This is what the Lord said we shall do to the idols of the other nations, right? It says, "The graven images of their gods shall ye burn with fire." Right? So that Christmas tree, hey, you should burn it with fire. That statue of Virgin Mary, you should burn it with fire. That crucifix, you should burn it with fire. Right? That picture of Caesar Borgia, you should burn it with fire. Caesar Borgia, or who you may know as White Jesus, you should burn it with fire. It says, thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto thee, lest thou be snared therein, for it is an abomination to the Lord thy God. Right? So that idol, that Christmas tree is an abomination. Right? Those candles that they used to give out back then during Saturnalia, it's an abomination. Right? Buying gifts on Christmas, it's an abomination. It says, neither shalt thou bring an abomination into thine house. So don't bring the tree into your house. Don't bring the lights into your house. None of that. It says, lest thou be a cursed thing like it. Because why? That tree is a cursed thing, right? And if you bring that into your house, hey, you cursing your home and everybody in it, including you, right? It says, but thou shalt utterly detest it, and thou shalt utterly abhor it, for it is a cursed thing, right? So you're supposed to hate that Christmas tree, right? So like, I just want one more timestamp.
The month of December was used to prepare for the week-long festivities, including purchasing the sigilla from the special markets known as the Sigillaria, which gives its name to the end of the festival. People greeted each other with the customary Io Saturnalia, and at the end of the festival, the ankles of Saturn were tied up again until next year, and the social order was restored. The influence of Saturnalia on the Christian celebration of Christmas was direct, and includes the decoration of homes with garlands and lights, general merrymaking, feasting, and gift-giving.
Right, so it says the traditions of Christmas and Saturnalia is direct. The origin is direct, right? And it all.
The holiday was so direct and includes the decoration of homes with garlands and lights, general merrymaking, feasting.
The decorations of homes with lamps and garlands and lights, right? Keep going.
And gift-giving.
And gift-giving, right?
The holiday was so popular among the Romans that the early church couldn't stamp it out, and so they incorporated it in.
And it says, and she said, the day was so popular amongst the Romans and the Christians that they didn't want to let it go, so they incorporated it together with Christmas. Right? They combined the 2 days, and did what?
To the Christian calendar, with Christ replacing Saturn and Sol Invictus in the celebration.
They said with Christ replacing Saturn, but really you still worshiping Saturn because you're doing all the practices of it. And all they did was incorporate, the picture of, Christ. All they did was incorporate the story of Christ into it to try to mix it in, to try to make the Christians happy as well. But still, it goes back to pagan origins, right? So it's still pagan practice.
The Saturnalia was known as the jolliest of Roman festivals, and the poet Catullus described it as the best of times. So what aspect?
So Salakia, that's it on that. Um, the Lord said, don't be celebrating these holidays, man. Don't learn other ways of the heathen. It's like, I think it was one more that I wanted to grab. If I could think of it, it kind of slipped my mind. Oh, yeah, right. So let's go to the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, and verse... Mm, mm, all right, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 19. Yep. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 10 and 19. It says, "What say I then? That the idol is anything, or that which is offered in sacrifice to idols is anything? But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils." Right? So this whole holiday, it's all, the worship of, paganistic, evil worship, right? It says, and not to God, right? It's not of the Most High. So meaning what? It's of Satan. If it's not of the Most High, it's of Satan, right? It says, "And I would not that ye shall have fellowship with devils," right? It says, "Ye cannot drink of the cup of the Lord and of the cup of devils. You cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils," right? So I got one last precept by saying that. Coming off that, to let me back off that, I got one last precept. The classic, the book of Joshua, chapter 24 and verse 15. It says, "And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord," meaning what? If it seem evil unto you to give up Christmas, if it seem evil unto you to stop celebrating Thanksgiving, the 4th of July, New Year's, and all of these other days, if it seem evil unto you to serve the Most High and to keep the Passover, to keep the Sabbath, to keep all of these other high holy days, right? And the law, statutes, and commandments, it says, "Choose you this day whom you go serve," right? Whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, right? So you want to serve them gods that led our ancestors to death? You want to continue on to serve them? Or you want to serve Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, right? It says, "Or the gods of the Amorites in whose land ye dwell." So you want to serve the ancient gods? Or you want to serve the white man as your God? Or you want to serve his gods? Who do you want to serve? You want to serve the gods of the people who land you live in, right? AKA the white man, right? It says, "But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." Yahweh Bashim Mashiach Wamalak Yahushua. Right? So choose today who you go serve, man. Is you gonna continue on to celebrate these pagan holidays, or is you gonna come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and choose life? With that, all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Shalom.